You know, it's kind of funny. I was just watching, and I'm not even fully through the YouTube video yet, but I'm available to even go to the gym, so that's what we're doing. But I'm just now watching Sam's chest day that he posted yesterday, and here I am about to hit chest. So, but I'm only in the very first 4 minutes, so he's still in the middle of his car talk. So definitely not copying his workout, at least not intentionally. Maybe I'll get done with this chest day, go home to finish the video, and realize that we did the same workout. But I am behind on my YouTube viewing, mostly just because I've been too busy and my headphones have been dead. I haven't charged them, so can't watch or listen to whatever while doing stuff around the house with Dad or the kids. So is what it is. But let's focus on the matter at hand here. Chest day. At the moment, not entirely sure if this will be a chest day with or without the gym partner, because he works about 45 minutes away, but he's also supposed to get off at 3. It's 6:27. But yet he just texted me when I said, hey, it's time to gym, and said that he was just now leaving said town that he works in. So we'll see what happens. I texted back, well, just meet me at the gym. So we will see if that's what he does, or if he just texts me back to gym without him. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we have a gym partner today. So you're more enjoyable on chest day if you can have like a spotter or something. But it's just nice to gym with your best friend, to have a good gym partner. I don't know. What's your personal opinion on having a gym partner or being a lone ranger? When I first started, I was on my own, and I did it on my own for years. Then I had a buddy of mine who started gymming about a year into me going to a gym, and so he was like, well, we both go to a gym, why don't we gym together? And we'd show up together once in a while and get a workout in together. And so I got a taste of what it was like to have a gym partner, but I really didn't have a gym partner still. But we'd hit the gym together once in a while. And then he moved away, and then me and my best friend got talking, and ended up he wanted to start gymming. And so me, him, and another buddy of ours all started gymming up at Planet. Well, eventually the other buddy, who was the only reason we were gymming at Planet, because he lived in the town 45 minutes away, he stopped going. So we were like, okay, well, let's just go to the gym in town. Then eventually I bumped into the manager of the gym in the town we go to now. That's a slightly bigger gym than the one in my hometown. And he's like, hey, if you run the social media into our graphic design, they can redo the logo, make us some t-shirts, yada yada, I'll give you your membership. And I said, well, all that kind of work, graphic design work, is typically not cheap. So how about, instead of just a single person membership, I have a family plan, you let my gym partner be on it. And he did it. So me and my gym partner get free membership to this gym, and I just run the social media and stuff. So seems like a pretty good deal to me. But he's been gymming with me since 2020, so 5 years. And in that time, he's went from 130 to he's pushing 180 finally. So I am proud of him. He's put in a lot of work. He's made a lot of progress, and I am certainly not going to take that away from him. That is awesome. Now, the buddy of ours who stopped going, that went to Planet with us for a while and then stopped going, not sponsored, by the way. No, I will say, if you have not tried the new iced tea lemonade, yeah, that is probably one of my new favorite flavors of Ghost. If I'm out of pre-workout and need to grab an energy drink, I always grab a Ghost. So, not sponsored by them, sponsored by HTLT. But I will give that flavor a quick shout out. Because let's be honest, if you go to the gym, you already buy a Ghost on your way to the gym half the time anyways. So, I'm not giving them any extra sales, me and my 8 subscribers. But, anyways, the buddy of ours that stopped going, he one time he told me, he goes, I rather start where you started and where you're coming from than start where I am. Because he's an extremely thin hard gainer, and I was 300 working my way down, and at the time was about 250. And so he said that, and I was insulted. I was like, I get that both ends of the spectrum have their downsides, because it definitely sucks, I would imagine, to have to force feed and to feel like all you're doing is focusing on eating, all you're doing is spending money on food, and you're training and you're not putting on any weight. But I told my son, you can buy the cheaper food, you can buy junk food, you can drink sodas, you can drink milk, you can drink chocolate milk, you can, have as many protein shakes as you want, blah, blah, blah. I said, you have to be, dedicated to eating as often as you can and to getting as many calories as you can and training, sure. But the amount of dedication, the amount of self-discipline is way less, in my opinion, than having to go from, at one point in your life, eating way too many calories to restricting them. At one point in your life, eating whatever you wanted to being very, very selective with what you're choosing to eat so you don't put on weight, so you hit your protein, so you get fiber, so you're fuller for longer, but I don't know what my calories were before I started dieting, but I would take a gander that it was 3,000 to 3,500 a day, just based off of what I eat now, and knowing what those calories look like, and knowing what a cheat day looks like and stuff for me, what the calories end up around there. It had to have been at least 3,500 a day. So to go from 3,500 a day to 1,900, because, like I said, I didn't know where I started. So when I did start tracking, I kind of just went balls to the wall with it. And going from eating whatever you want, I wanted to chicken breast and steak and big potatoes and salad at the time was pretty much all I ate. I dropped the very first 50 pounds super fast. But I told my son, I'd rather be where you're at, where I don't have to give a crap about what I'm eating. I just have to lift and eat. And you know what? I'm sure it's frustrating, but it's just as frustrating to be putting in what I would deem 10 times more work, 10 times more self-discipline and dedication, and still having days where it feels like you're making no progress. Just saying. But, again, they each have their own perks and their own downfalls. So, because a lot of the times, a bigger guy who loses weight, there's a decent amount of muscle underneath there. Because you were carrying around that weight for so long, you have an easier time putting on weight, so chances are you have an easier time putting on muscle. You're probably stronger. But there's the downside of dieting, like actually having to diet, loose skin, depending on how big you were, plateaus and rebounding compared to the other guy. But to be fair, I've never been the other guy. So, enough about that. You can comment in the comments, have a discussion amongst yourselves on if you rather be a hard gainer working their way up in weight or obese working your way down. Because I would definitely say I rather have been the hard gainer. Because at least, even if you're the hard gainer, you're deemed by society, right, acceptable. You know, even though that guy is, I would say, especially at the time when we started all going to the gym together, a doctor probably would have told him he was malnourished, that he was too small. But yet, he can land chicks left and right. Everyone wants to be his friend. Everyone's nice to him because he's a skinny, tall guy. But when you're the short, heavy-set guy, the only chicks you get to talk to are your mama, your sister, and your nieces and your cousins, family. That's it, the occasional girlfriend here and there. And society judges and treats you harshly. And my big thing with that is, yes, it is a choice. There is a level of decision in becoming obese because you can always choose to put the fork down. But I also know it depends on environment. For me, I was raised in a house where, one, we were pretty much always served not exactly the healthiest food or the most nutritionally dense food. I remember a lot of nights of hamburger helper, ramen noodles, or mashed potatoes, some meat, and green beans. A lot of those pre-made frozen Salisbury steaks. That's what I remember growing up with. And obviously, that's not healthy. But I also grew up in a house where you were told to finish your food. So, at least as a kid you just do what your parents tell you and you eat what they eat. A lot of times I was force feeding because I was told to finish what I ate. Like, my parents have a rule when we go out to eat. They almost always pick a buffet and they will tell you, eat what we paid for. So that way it's worth paying for that food. And I remember one time we were at Golden Corral up in Springfield, Missouri. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to go over on my calories, but we're going to a buffet and I am hungry. So maybe I'll just eat. At the time I was doing OMAD anyways, one meal a day. So I was like, well, I'll just go by that principle. This will be my one meal. Then hopefully mom and dad still don't do the whole eat what we paid for, make it worth it, blah, blah, blah. We paid so much for the food. And so I got started with a salad, and I got to put a little cottage cheese and a steak and all this stuff. And I remember it ended up only being 3 plates. And one of those was just a salad. So it was 2 and a salad. But, my mom took note that I wasn't really stacking those plates full of a lot of food, and I wasn't, in her eyes, eating what she paid for. So she's like, you need to go get another plate at least and then go get some dessert. And sat there and kind of guilt tripped me into doing it. But she doesn't do that anymore, thankfully. I think she understands that we're all adults. We're going to eat however much we're going to eat. And we're going to eat till we're full. And we know when the heck we're full, so why Why bother us? So now when we go out as family, don't have to worry about it. Plus, I think she knows I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm just gonna eat what I need to eat and be done. But anyways, enough trauma dumping about going out to eat as a family, as a child. I am almost to the gym, so I'll see you inside for the chest workout. I guess I'll find out if I'm gonna have a gym partner or not. Let's get it. Warm up on some cables for once. Do you have that good of a back day yesterday? I did 6 sets of that close grip going a bit lower because it hit so good that I kept doing them. And by the time I got done with those, my back was like pretty well, it really pumped. And like if I did this, I could like, really feel it. Even today, I could still feel it. So I went ahead and got like a medium grip of those one handles and did 3 sets of rows. And after that, I just put that wide grip handle on the lat pull down and just spammed some heavy ones. And I called it a back day. That's just how good the one things felt. Oh, the one close grip pull downs felt. I don't have time for Mackenzie, but I am happy she's out of that because that's a mess. We knew it was a mess. Feeling like being something like that. Ooh. Very true. You see those videos Ronnie Coleman's been uploading of AI? He'll take like a photo, like an old photo of either him or Jay Cutler, and let AI predict what's happening in the photo. And so there's one of him like on the shoulder press, and all of a sudden he just stands up and starts doing it that way. And then he has one of Jay laying on incline bench, and once the AI takes over, the bar goes through Jay's neck, and then he presses it. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I sent you one earlier. It's Jay Cutler on a hack squat machine at the bottom, and that's where the picture was taken, was him at the bottom of like a squat. And it shows him just rip the handles and the pads off and start pressing the, like it's a shoulder press machine. I'm like, what on earth is Ronnie posting, brother?
Got ideas from your mom.
Well, it's like last night. No, not last night. This morning, I got a message on good old Tinder, the biggest waste of time on planet Earth. And it's like, new match, and if I get a match and I know about it, I try to be pretty good about answering it right away. And so I just messaged, "Hey, beautiful." Hasn't said a word. You get tired of even trying to focus on it. It's like, I'll just focus on the gym. Whatever happens, happens.
So perhaps you want to stay natural. You don't want to use banned performance-enhancing drugs, but you want an edge on your opponent. He searched the world, searched the globe, and found turkesterone, actual turkesterone, in Uzbekistan. Our company has gone above and beyond the due diligence to prove that it's turkesterone. Other companies, not so much. Get Will Tennyson, Mike Israel, Jeff Nippert to actually try my turkesterone for 30 or 60 days and get them to report the difference. Turkesterone. You're stronger, you have more muscle, you flex in the mirror, you look leaner, thicker, fuller, better.
Turk Builder Max. Get it while it's still in stock. Hard than last time supplements. Code JS15, get 15% off.
Another workout complete, in a pretty dang decent one at that. Me and Brandon were just talking. I do believe it was 18 working sets, which I am more than fine with. So not as much as I typically end up doing on chest day, but like I said, I think I overtrain on chest because I think a normal chest day would be like free fly variations and free presses, and we almost always do 4 sets. So you're looking at 24 working sets. So we cut that down significantly today, which is fine because I don't want to overtrain by any means, but I still want to have a good workout. Chest is just one of those ones where I have a hard time saying no to doing it just one more set or just one more exercise because I'm just hyped to do it. But good workout, definitely pumped. I'm really loving those deficit push-ups on the that's a hanging leg raise and like a dip machine kind of thing. And we've been using the feet placement on it to instead get some good deep deficit push-ups in to finish on chest day. And the stretch is phenomenal. And if you lean forward a little bit, you can kind of get more upper chest. So I'm really loving those. That's been a great finisher. But when you guys watched this video, I believe it was while we were on incline, I was talking to Brandon about not Tinder, but I believe it's the set before that, talking about Ronnie Coleman's Facebook page, and not a fan Facebook page, like his confirmed Facebook page, and he's been doing. I would assume it's the trend of AI finishes what's going to happen. It predicts what happens next of photos or videos, and it's just the funniest stuff because it's like I said to Brandon, Jay Cutler doing incline bench, and it's right here, right before it touches his chest, and AI takes over and it goes through his neck and then back out, and it's just I don't know why he's been addicted to posting that stuff, but pretty consistently this week. That's all I've seen Ronnie post on his Facebook page. It cracks me up. But I don't know your feelings on AI. I know some people, especially when it was first kind of taken off, where it was just people were acting like doom and gloom, end of the world, Terminator's about to come true. I would say if we're not careful, it could have naked Arnold's time traveling to kill people all over the place. It'd be wild. But I think where it is now, it's just going to be what it is right now, which is really stupid videos and... Buddy, you have the road, okay. But really stupid videos and really funny images. And if it stays that way, who cares? But if it actually gets smart enough to start taking over the world, might be time to show you a little concern about it. But that's neither here or there, because right now it does not apply to my fitness life or my fitness journey or my goals. And so I guess while we're on the topic of AI in the fitness industry and saying that it does not in any way contribute to my goals or my desires right now, you might hear that and think, oh, but there's AI training apps and there's AI food trackers now and there's AI that if you even on what is it, Jeff Nippard's app Macro Factor, where he recently was he added an AI feature where if you don't want to have to sit there and track it, you can take a picture. Even I guarantee, even on his stinking app, it's AI. It has no way of knowing unless you physically tell it. So what? Every time you use it, you're going to put your food on a scale with grams on it, so it has an idea of how much food's there, so it can portion it out better. The food, the AI has no idea how much food is on that plate. Doesn't know the grams, doesn't know the size or the dimensions of the plate. It doesn't know the size or the dimensions of the food. It doesn't know. It has no way of knowing that there's 100 grams of rice on that plate. It has no way of knowing that you cooked a 350 gram chicken breast. It has no way of knowing that you used cooking spray and maybe it tracks thinking you used 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil just because the light glistened off your chicken just right, and instead of acknowledging that that's just the lighting or the juice, it thinks it's grease. The AI has no way of knowing. I guarantee on any of these apps, whether it be Cal AI or the AI option on Macro Factor or whatever it may be, if you are using an AI version, take 3 or 4 readings of the same food, the exact same plate of food, and see if it gives you the same reading every time. And if it does, then I challenge you, if it does it 2 times in a row, 2 or 3 times in a row, where it gives you the same reading, maybe it's able to say, okay, I just tracked that for you, like I recognize it. Take your spoon, move something over a little bit. Maybe stack the power rice a little taller. Take a bite out of the chicken. See how many calories it magically adds or gets rid of just because the angle of the photo is different or something on the plate got moved, not even necessarily removed. And I guarantee it's not going to be accurate. I think the perfect example, if you don't watch Will Tennyson, I greatly recommend him. But he recently did a video where one of the things he tested out was AI tracking. And he took a picture of a massive, we're talking crumble cookie sized cookie. I don't think it was a crumble cookie, but it's probably some like offshoot, kind of crumble theme bakery kind of ordeal. But we're talking a cookie the size of your head kind of cookie. And he holds his phone up, he takes a picture, and it says 240 calories. Or 210, something like that. So all the AI sees is a cookie on a plate. Because, well, and to the AI, it probably is calculating it by all calculations. On average, what I can find is a chocolate chip cookie is 210 calories or something, something like that. Whatever it's finding mostly close to this number. It doesn't know the brand, it doesn't know what restaurant you're at, it doesn't know the size of the cookie, it doesn't know the ingredients of the cookie. And in reality, I think it was like a 600-700 calorie cookie. And it is so easy to mistrack, to be wrong as it is. You don't track the oil that you cooked with. You don't track the condiments you use, or maybe you do, but you don't weigh them out like you do your food. So in reality, you only put that you had 2 tablespoons, 10 calories of whatever sauce, and it turns out you had 12 tablespoons because you put it all on your plate and then you ran out, so you added a little more on your plate and you ran out and you added, whatever the case may be. But a lot of people mistrack. So, and I think 90% of people are off by however many 100 calories is what they have. They've done studies and that's what they've come up with. I'd have to look, but a lot of people are off. And so, like for me, I weigh out my meat raw, not cooked. I weigh out if it's rice, I weigh it out dry before I cook it. Same thing with potato. I weigh out the potato on the scale raw. Then I dice it up and cook it. Or then I throw it in the oven to become a baked potato. Right. And then if I'm using ketchup, 1, I get sugar free, but 2, I'm balancing out my plate, and then I'm measuring out how many grams, and then I'm putting in how many grams of that I had. It's a hassle sometimes, sure, but you have to be meticulous with it, because if you're not, you can be off by hundreds of calories and not even know it. Hundreds. Well, they are not having a good chest workout, but you can be off by a lot and never know it. And so, especially when it comes to AI, it's not even accurate if you ask it a simple question. It if you go to Chat GPT and ask it a simple question, it might give you 5 different answers to the same question if you just hit regenerate, and some of them might contradict each other. And you're trusting that to know how many calories, how many grams of macronutrients is in your food? If you're a hard gainer, that might be one heck of a way to trick yourself into thinking you're not overeating as much as you know. If you're tracking to make sure you're in a surplus and you already like, hate doing it, maybe you can play mind games with yourself and use the AI to under track and actually eat some more food. You create some kind of psychological warfare with yourself. But if you're losing weight, trying to lose weight, stay away from it. And the same goes with the training apps. I get that by all means, all the knowledge we have when it comes to training, all the knowledge we have when it comes to kinesiology, the study of exercise science, it's all available online. But again, just because it's all available to the AI doesn't mean it's going to get it right. And I see an ad all the time for Fitbod AI, and it's like it's supposed to be, it plans your workout and it's the best workout for that specific muscle group, and it's able to tell how many rest days you need, so therefore it knows when you should train that muscle group next, and blah blah. No, because think about this, just in the fitness industry as a whole, that AI is getting all this stuff too. We have some fitness influencers and some scientists and some researchers saying this rep range is the best, and this amount of grams of protein per pound of body weight, and this many days between muscle groups, and this many days before you train you get the same muscles again. This many sets is conducive to the best hypertrophy, and this many sets and go this close to failure, read this many reps, and we start. Listen to your body. If you don't have a plan, by all means, get a personal trainer, ask a buddy how they train, whatever. But don't listen to an AI about how to train and what's the best rep range and what's the best and when you should be training that body part again. If you are pushing yourself to failure, whether it be heavy or light, whatever you like. For me, it's a mixture. My chest responds better to higher volume. So my chest days are higher volume. And AI would probably just tell me, hit some front bench, 4 sets of 10. Hit some chest flies, 4 sets of 10. Hit this variation, chest flies, 4 sets of 10. Hit incline, 4 sets of 10. Do some body weight dips, go home. They go, work for me. At the very least, those flies need to be within the range of 15 to 20. Because that's just what my body responds to best. I think that's just what I've discovered and I've learned about myself over the years, and I've listened to my body and I've made that adjustment, and I've seen a lot of size development in my upper chest, getting the shelf built up, but also just like the way I feel at the end of a chest day. Like I can feel every fiber in my chest moving. It's sore, it's pumped, and I don't get that when I just do 4 sets of 10 to 12. So by all means, you need to learn your body, and you need to learn what it responds to, and that's what you need to do. So all this AI stuff that's going around, at least for now, keep it out of your fitness life. Keep it out of your workout life, out of your fitness journey. 10 years down the road, when it knows everything and can tell us exactly what day the Earth is gonna explode and blah blah blah, and it's like never wrong anymore. Shoot for the stars, make your own judgment. But at least for now, it's not there. Anyways, I'm gonna go in and buy a Diet Dr. Pepper because that's the kind of. Anyways, I'm gonna go in and buy a Diet Dr. Pepper because that's just the kind of man I am. And then I'm gonna go home and eat some chicken breast. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for arms.